What if I told you that the world's most expensive supercars are not really built for speed first, but for obsession? Behind every Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren, Bugatti, Koenigsegg, and Pagani is a hidden world of secret engineering, handcrafted precision, founder ambition, brutal quality control, and machines so advanced they almost feel unreal. And the deeper you go inside these factories, the more you realize they are not just building cars. They are manufacturing desire. When most people picture a supercar factory, they imagine speed, fast robots, fast assembly, fast machines. But one of the strangest truths in this world is that the fastest cars on Earth are often built inside some of the slowest, most deliberate factories on Earth. That is because supercars are not mass-produced the way ordinary vehicles are. They are obsessed over, measured, rejected, rebuilt, inspected again. In a normal car factory, efficiency rules everything. In a supercar factory, perfection comes first. And that changes the entire rhythm of the building. Think about that for a second. A machine capable of crossing 200 miles per hour may spend hours being inspected by a single human hand. That is the paradox of the supercar world. The faster the final product, the slower and more patient the manufacturing often becomes. To understand why these factories feel so different, you have to go back to the founders, because supercars are not just products. They are personal philosophies on wheels. Enzo Ferrari built his company around racing obsession and the belief that mechanical excellence could stir deep emotion. Ferruccio Lamborghini entered the industry with defiance, determined to prove that sports cars could be more dramatic, more aggressive, and more unforgettable. Bruce McLaren pushed innovation through motorsport logic and relentless experimentation. Horacio Pagani blended engineering with art, almost like a sculptor working inside an aerospace lab. Christian von Koenigsegg built a company out of sheer ambition, chasing what many people thought could not be done. That founder DNA still lives inside these factories. You can feel it in the way they build. You can see it in the details they refuse to compromise on. And you can hear it in the stories they tell the world. Now, here is where the real secret engineering begins. A supercar factory is actually two factories in one. The first is the one the public sees. Polished floors, dramatic lighting, painted bodywork, hand-stitched leather, gleaming engines, and the spectacle of luxury manufacturing at its finest. But the second factory is buried beneath the beauty. That hidden factory is made of materials, science, aerodynamic tuning, thermal control, structural bonding, software calibration, vibration analysis, cooling strategy, and microscopic tolerances. This is the part most people never think about, because a supercar is not simply designed to look expensive. It has to survive heat, pressure, speed, vibration, braking force, air resistance, customer expectation, and regulation. Beauty alone is not enough. In this world, beauty has to survive physics. And that is why carbon fiber became one of the industry's greatest obsessions. In the supercar world, weight is the enemy. Every kilogram matters. Lighter cars accelerate harder, brake faster, turn sharper, and feel more alive. That is why companies like Lamborghini and McLaren built so much of their identity around advanced composite structures and carbon fiber engineering. It is not just a flex, it is a weapon. Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren, Koenigsegg, Pagani, and Bugatti all understand that exotic performance begins long before the engine ever fires up. It begins with what the car is made of. But the engine is still where the mythology becomes real. And this is where the industry has changed dramatically. Because today's supercar factory is no longer just building a loud engine and a beautiful shell. It is building a complete performance ecosystem. A modern supercar is part machine, part software, part energy management system. The gearbox logic has to speak to the hybrid system. The hybrid system has to speak to the cooling system. The cooling system has to work with the aerodynamic package. The suspension has to cooperate with road conditions, power delivery, and braking loads. Everything is connected. Everything is talking. And when the factory gets it right, the driver never notices the complexity. They only feel the magic. That feeling is not accidental. It is engineered. And this is what makes the current moment so fascinating. The supercar world used to worship the engine almost like a religion. The scream of a V12, the violence of a shift, the raw sound of combustion. That was the soul. But now, the future is arriving through hybrids, electric motors, battery packs, power electronics, and software-controlled performance. And instead of killing the supercar, this technology is forcing it to evolve. Some of the most extreme machines on Earth are now using electrification not as a compromise, but as an amplifier. Instant torque, sharper response, new packaging possibilities, more power, more control, more drama. The question now is not whether electrification can make a supercar faster. It can. The real question is whether it can preserve the emotion. And that is one of the biggest battles happening inside these factories right now. Because speed alone is never enough. A supercar has to feel expensive. It has to sound unforgettable. It has to look like nothing else on the road. It has to deliver theater. That is why these factories are no longer just mechanical spaces. They are part laboratory, part design studio, part software center, and part luxury workshop. This is not ordinary manufacturing. This is emotional engineering. And emotional engineering is expensive, very expensive. So why do supercars cost so much? Most people assume the answer is simple. Low production numbers, famous badges, luxury branding. But the real answer runs deeper. Supercars cost more because inefficiency is built into the business model. These factories use rare materials, specialized labor, small volume production, precision machining, advanced testing, custom assembly, and endless inspection. And then they add personalization on top of all of that. A customer does not just buy a supercar, they often co-create it. They choose colors, stitching, carbon finishes, materials, trim, wheels, interior themes, special paint, and unique one-off details. And that personalization is not just emotional, it is financial. This is one of the hidden profit engines of the entire industry. Because the more personal the car feels, the more valuable it becomes to the buyer, not just in money, but in identity. That means a supercar factory is not just selling horsepower. It is selling exclusivity, it is selling authorship. It is selling the feeling that this machine, out of all the machines on Earth, belongs uniquely to you. And that feeling is worth a fortune. Even the distribution pipeline reflects that philosophy. Ordinary cars are shipped to dealer lots. Supercars are staged, curated, protected, and presented. The journey from factory to customer is often treated like part of the luxury experience itself. Because in this industry, delivery is not a transaction, it is a ceremony, and the factory is where that ceremony begins. But behind the polished handover and cinematic reveal is something far more fragile. A tightly controlled ecosystem of suppliers, electronics specialists, software teams, machinists, composite experts, battery engineers, upholsterers, and precision manufacturers. If one piece fails, the entire chain trembles. One part shortage, one software issue, one materials delay, one regulatory change, and the perfect machine can be delayed for months. That is the hidden tension beneath the glamour. The public sees prestige, the factory sees risk. And then there is the inspection process, where fantasy meets discipline. Because no matter how beautiful a supercar looks, it cannot leave the factory unless it performs exactly as intended. Panel gaps, paint quality, torque settings, software calibration, engine response, brake feel, interior fit, material consistency. Every detail is checked because the customer is not paying for good enough. They are paying for the illusion of perfection, and that illusion is maintained by relentless scrutiny. A supercar factory is not really a place where great cars are simply built. It is a place where flaws are hunted over and over again until the final machine feels inevitable. And when that moment finally comes, when the car starts for the first time, when the lights come alive, when the machine rolls out under its own power, you are not just seeing the birth of a vehicle. You are seeing the final result of thousands of invisible decisions. Founder ambition, material science, financial strategy, craftsmanship, software, logistics, quality control, design philosophy, customer psychology, all of it compressed into one machine. That is why these factories matter. They are not just making toys for the wealthy. They are pushing materials, processes, performance systems, hybrid technology, and luxury manufacturing techniques that often influence the wider car industry over time. They also reveal something powerful about human nature. Even in a world of automation, people still crave craftsmanship. Even in a software age, people still want something mechanical and visceral. Even in a rational economy, people are willing to pay irrational amounts for something that feels extraordinary. And supercar factories understand that better than almost anyone. They do not manufacture transportation, they manufacture awe. So the next time you see a supercar flash past you on the road, remember this. You are not just looking at money, you are looking at obsession made visible, at founder dreams turned into carbon fiber and steel, at hidden engineering disguised as beauty, at an industrial process so precise, so selective, and so emotionally charged that it can transform a machine into a myth. And maybe that is why supercars continue to fascinate us. Not because most of us will ever own one, but because these factories prove what happens when human beings decide that ordinary is unacceptable. They slow down, they obsess, they refine, they chase impossible detail, and every once in a while, they build something that makes the rest of the world stop and stare. This is Industrium Secrets, where we go inside the factories, the engineering, the money, and the hidden systems behind the world's most extraordinary industries. Subscribe, because the deeper you look into how these machines are built, the more incredible the story becomes. And trust me, this industry has even bigger secrets waiting behind the next door.